Have you ever wondered why some women simply, by walking into a room without saying a word, without trying to be the center of attention, somehow capture the gaze of every man around them? They are not young anymore. They are not wearing anything revealing or flashy. And yet they have something, an invisible magnetism, that makes people look again and silently ask themselves, who is that woman? I used to believe that kind of allure was reserved only for the young, that after a certain age, maybe 50, maybe 60, women gradually fade into the background, and so we begin to accept it as normal. We choose outfits that are more practical than beautiful colors that feel safer rather than striking, and we tell ourselves, at this age, I do not need to impress anyone anymore. But here is what I have slowly come to realize. The world sees us exactly the way we allow ourselves to be seen. If you dress like you are trying to disappear, people will walk right past you. If you wear clothes that no longer make you feel beautiful, you will start believing there is nothing beautiful left to see. But if you put on a dress that makes you naturally stand a little taller, smile a little easier, and walk a little lighter, people will notice. Not because you are demanding attention, but because you are truly present. And the most beautiful part, you do not need a brand new wardrobe. You do not need designer labels or layers of makeup. You just need to know how to choose the right pieces, styles, and colors that quietly awaken the charm you may have forgotten was even there. In this video, I am going to share with you 8 outfits that may seem simple at first glance, but have the power to catch a man's attention instantly, especially after the age of 55. Not because they show skin or follow trends, but because they spark emotion, create presence, and express the unmistakable grace of a woman who has lived, loved, and learned. Especially outfit number 1. It is like a secret weapon. So many women have told me that when they wear it, they see a shift in their partner's eyes. Even those who have known them for years suddenly begin to see them differently. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, I will share one incredibly simple trick. Something you can do in just a few seconds each morning that can make any outfit you wear instantly more memorable in the eyes of the man you love. Are you ready? Come with me. The first one is the wine red dress, the kind of outfit I call effortless allure. Red is the color of life, of blood, of the heart. But wine red carries with it a sense of maturity, depth, and a touch of mystery. When a woman over 55 wears wine red, she does not need to say a word. Just standing there, she creates a distinct presence. The wine red dress I wore that day was not tight, not short, did not reveal my back, and did not have a high slit. It was just a simple knee-length dress with a soft square neckline, elbow-length sleeves, and a flowing fabric that moved gently as I walked. But when I looked in the mirror, I saw something I had not seen in years. I saw myself as beautiful. Not beautiful like I was at 30, but beautiful in a way that had depth of story and something that made people stop and look a little longer. And they did stop. At the small evening gathering that night, my friends looked at me more closely. They asked what I had done to look so different. They did not know I had simply changed my dress. And when I changed that dress, I awakened a quiet pride inside myself. One man, an old classmate, came close and softly said, "You used to wear red back then. Today, you are wearing red again. And to me, you still look the same." That sentence moved me. Not because it was romantic, but because it reminded me when you dare to wear something that makes you feel confident, others will see that too. So why is the wine red dress so powerful? Because in color psychology, wine red is a shade that stirs strong emotions while maintaining sophistication. It is not as loud as bright red, not as soft as pink. It is a blend of passion and depth. It evokes images of a quiet evening with a glass of wine, of untold stories, of a gentle yet unreadable gaze. And men, especially mature men, are not drawn to flashiness. They are drawn to what stirs their curiosity and invites them to explore. A wine red dress worn well makes you the kind of woman they cannot take their eyes off. Not because you are stunning, but because you look like you know who you are. And that more than anything is truly captivating. You do not need the perfect figure. You do not need heavy makeup. You just need to choose a dress with a soft flowing fabric, a neckline that is not too high, sleeves that are not too short, and a wine red shade that is deep enough. That alone is enough to make you show up with a completely different kind of energy. You will not need to shout, "Look at me." You will simply be there, and people will look. Outfit number 2, the white silk shirt and khaki pants, a look that earns a man's respect. After I wore that wine red dress and got back a part of myself I thought I had lost, I started paying more attention to outfits I used to think were just ordinary. And do you know what surprised me the most? It was not the glamorous dresses or bright colors. It was something incredibly simple: a white silk shirt and a pair of well-fitted khaki pants. At first glance, you might think, "Oh, please, what is so special about that?" Everyone owns a white shirt, but the difference is not in the shirt itself. It is in the fabric, the fit, and the way you feel when you wear it. I remember that day clearly. It was a parent-teacher meeting at my grandson's school. I just wanted to look neat and presentable, so I grabbed a white silk shirt with a soft collar, not stiff like the old office shirts, and paired it with light beige khaki pants. I did not wear makeup, just dabbed on a little lip balm. And yet when I walked into the classroom, a man probably around 60 years old turned to me and softly said, "You look so refined in that outfit, and still very feminine." I have no idea if he meant anything beyond that, but his words made me smile for the rest of the afternoon, because it was not just a compliment, it was a form of recognition, and I thought to myself, maybe I should dress like this more often. We often assume that men only notice flashy things, but that is not true. Especially as they grow older, having experienced all kinds of women, they start noticing women who are composed, clean, elegant women who make them feel at ease just by being near. And you know what? A white silk shirt is the perfect symbol of that energy. Silk has a softness that keeps the shirt from feeling stiff. It gently follows the shape of your body, neither too tight nor too loose. The neckline can be slightly open or cut in a smooth, round style, as long as you feel light and comfortable wearing it. As for the khaki pants, go for a straight leg fit with a subtle crease, not too snug, not too baggy. When you put it on, you will look more put together, slightly taller, slightly brighter, and that slightly is exactly what makes people notice without even knowing why. Color also matters. A white top gives off a fresh, elegant vibe. Light khaki bottoms help you appear soft and approachable. The whole combination sends the message, I know who I am and I know how I live. And men, they are incredibly drawn to women who carry that kind of presence. You do not need to say much. You do not need to dress provocatively. Just walk into the room in that well-fitted outfit and you will earn their respect. And when a man respects you, the way he notices you is completely different. There was another time I wore this combo to a bookstore. I only meant to sit for a while and flip through a few pages. But a man at the table next to me, after glancing my way a few times, offered to buy me a cup of tea. He said, "You dress like a professor, but more graceful and gentle." I did not reply. I just smiled. But inside, I was beaming, because I knew I was sending out the right signal. I am mature. I know who I am, and I still carry my own kind of charm. If you have not worn a white shirt in a long time, or if you have always thought light colors do not suit you, try again. But this time, do not choose something stiff or thick with a tight collar. Go for something light and soft, maybe silk, or a smooth cotton blend that drapes well. And the pants do not go too tight. Do not go too long. Just make sure they are easy to move in to sit and stand without having to adjust constantly. What matters is that you feel put together without feeling old. Because sometimes what catches someone's eye is not the color or the cut. It is the way you show up in that outfit. And with a white silk shirt paired with khakis, you do not need to say a word. Your presence says it all. Outfit number 3, the floral maxi dress. Softness that awakens a man's protective instinct. I know many women over the age of 55 feel like dresses are no longer for them. They say things like, I do not have a waist anymore, or long dresses make me look shorter, or even, wearing a dress just feels out of place. But you know what? It is not that dresses do not suit you, it is that you have not found the right dress yet. I used to think the same way, until one day I tried on a black maxi dress with delicate beige floral patterns. It reached down to my ankles, had softly gathered elbow-length sleeves and a gently rounded V-neck. I wore no makeup. Did not style my hair, just slipped on a pair of low sandals, grabbed a canvas tote, and went grocery shopping like I always do. But that day, I got noticed by the parking lot attendant. An older gentleman smiled at me as I was walking my bike out and said, "You look like an old-time movie actress in that dress, so graceful." I laughed out loud because I did not expect it. But when I caught a glimpse of myself in the glass doors, I realized he was right. I did look different. That difference did not come from the beauty of the dress itself. It came from how the dress made me feel. I walked more slowly, stepped more lightly, let my arms move freely. I did not feel heavy like I often do. I felt feminine, soft, and in some way a little delicate. And that is exactly what makes men notice. When a mature woman wears a long, soft, flowing dress, it awakens in men an old instinct. They almost forgot. They had the instinct to protect, to approach, to care. Not because you look weak, but because you remind them of a kind of beauty that is rare in today's world, the beauty of gentleness with depth. In psychology, the flowing motion of a maxi dress creates a visual effect of stillness in movement. The dress does not cling to the body, but it follows each step. It does not show skin, but it reveals character. And if the base color is a deep tone like black-brown or olive, paired with small floral prints in light shades like cream beige or dusty pink, you get this gentle contrast of reveal and conceal that feels warm and graceful. A friend of mine, she is over 60 and has been divorced, wore a dress like that to a small group meeting. She did not speak much, just sat quietly and listened. But one of the men in the group walked over to pour her a glass of water and started a conversation. Later he shared, "Looking at her, I felt like I was seeing a memory of my mother when she was young and beautiful before the years wore her down." And I thought there is no compliment more beautiful than that. If you feel like life has been moving too fast, too tiring, try wearing a soft, long dress. Go for a slow walk in the park, at the store, or even just around the house. You will feel something shift, not turning back into a 20-year-old girl, but returning to yourself, the woman who once smiled shyly, blushed easily, and leaned in when she wanted to be held. A floral maxi dress does not need to be expensive. What matters most is this: do not pick one that is so loose it looks like a rain poncho. And do not choose one so tight it feels made for someone in her 20s. Choose a fabric with a soft flowing drape like a linen blend, soft cotton, or lined chiffon. Sleeves should have a slight puff or gentle elastic to soften the upper arms. The neckline should be low enough to elongate the neck, but not so low that it feels revealing. And do not forget a small pair of earrings or a leather strap watch, just a quiet touch, like a whisper that says, "I am still here, still a woman, and still worthy of love." Sometimes you do not need to say anything to be noticed. Outfit number 4. Beige linen set with a silk scarf. The effortless California grace. You know, I used to think that elegance was only for women with perfect figures, flawless skin, or at the very least, someone who had a personal stylist like the Hollywood actresses. But then I visited my cousin in the suburbs of Oregon, a 62-year-old woman who lives alone, has no social media, and does not fuss over appearances at all. And yet, I could not take my eyes off her. She walked out of her house wearing the simplest outfit imaginable: a soft beige linen top with mid-length sleeves, matching linen pants, and a small silk scarf gently tied around her neck. Her hair, streaked with silver and black, was loosely tied back. Her skin had a few wrinkles, but her eyes were bright. No bracelets, no earrings, no makeup. But as she stepped into her garden to water the flowers, the whole scene around her seemed to soften. And that was when I realized, this is a kind of beauty that age cannot take away. This is the kind of beauty that makes a mature man pause, look a little deeper and think, this woman has depth. When I returned to California, I tried wearing a similar outfit, a beige linen shirt, straight-leg pants made from the same fabric, and a silk scarf with a soft brown and burnt orange pattern. Nothing fancy. I was just heading to the local grocery store. And yet the young cashier looked up and said, "You look like one of those Parisian women from old movies, so calm yet full of presence." I laughed, Paris numb. I was simply dressing in a way that matched how I felt, relaxed, simple, but intentional. And that very intention is what makes others see you differently. This beige linen outfit has something that jeans and t-shirts never quite offer. It creates space to breathe. Not just physically, but mentally. When you wear something soft, breathable, and just loose enough you move more lightly, you breathe more deeply, and you carry yourself more gently. And women who carry themselves gently at any age catch a man's attention. Not in a primal way, but in a respectful way. The kind of attention that says, I want to talk to this person. The silk scarf is an important detail. It is not there to keep your neck warm. It is there to say, I did not just throw this on. I know exactly what I am wearing. And men notice that. They may not say it out loud, but when a woman pays attention to the little things, not to show off, but with quiet refinement, they are drawn in ways they cannot quite explain. Especially here in the United States, where most older adults choose comfort over appearance. Wearing a soft, light-colored linen outfit, neat, clean, paired with a delicate scarf, makes you stand out. But not in a look-at-me kind of way. More like, I have a way of living a sense of depth, a personal sense of beauty. And you know the best part? You start to feel different even if no one says anything. You stand taller, speak more calmly, and suddenly feel a bit more in love with yourself. That is elegance. No need for glamour, no need to spend a fortune. You just need to wear something that makes you feel, this is me. No pretending, no pressure. And it is in that unforced moment that you become your most magnetic. Outfit number 5. V-neck top with elbow-length sleeves and an A-line skirt, quietly celebrating your curves. There was a phase after I turned 55 when I began to lose touch with my own body. Not because I stopped loving myself, but because I thought, well, my figure is not what it used to be. What is there to show off? So I started wearing clothes that hid everything. Oversized tops, shapeless pants with no waistline, even long coats that covered my hips. And slowly, I stopped seeing myself as a woman with a shape. But one day I decided to try on an old olive green V-neck top with elbow-length sleeves. A blouse I used to love back in my early 40s. I paired it with a high-waisted A-line skirt in a light cream color made from a slightly structured fabric. And when I looked in the mirror, I went still. Not because I looked younger, but because I saw that I was still there, my shape, my softness, my waist, still there even if just a little. I walked outside in that outfit with no expectations. But that day, as I sat in my favorite neighborhood cafe, a man probably 5 years older than me walked up and said, I hope I am not interrupting, but the outfit you are wearing really lights up this whole corner of the room. You see, we women do not need to be sexy or show a lot of skin to be noticed. Sometimes just wearing something that gently highlights your best features in a modest, elegant way is more than enough. A V-neck does not need to plunge. It just needs to dip slightly, to elongate the neckline and create a more graceful silhouette while drawing subtle attention to the collarbones, that one place on a woman's body that always holds beauty no matter her age or size. Elbow-length sleeves help cover the upper arms, which tend to age earlier, but still leave the wrists exposed, a delicate feminine detail. And the A-line skirt. Oh, what a gift that is for women in midlife. A high waistline brings focus back to the torso, making the legs look longer. The gentle flare of the skirt hides the belly and hips without adding bulk. And if you choose a light color like cream beige or a soft pastel, you will appear younger without even trying. A friend of mine, she is over 60 and has had 2 children, once told me, "I thought I could never wear skirts again. But the A-line skirt is a lifesaver. It makes me feel like I still have a shape." And she is right. You do not need an hourglass waist to have a figure. We just need a few soft curves in the right places to hide what needs hiding and to know how to dress with intention. And that is enough to make men take notice. In image psychology, the combination of a V-neck top and an A-line skirt creates what is called a visually attractive ratio, a slimmer upper body with an open neckline, balanced by a subtly flared lower half. This is why this outfit combo almost always works even for women who are not tall or slim. A small tip: go for a skirt that hits right at the knee or just below it, maybe with gentle pleats or a smooth finish. The fabric should not be too soft or too stiff. As for the top, choose a lightly draping material, nothing too shiny or thick. Pair it with a pair of ballet flats with a small heel around 3/4 of an inch or pointed toe loafers, and you will have a posture that turns heads with every step. And then you will realize wearing the right outfit does more than catch a man's eye. It makes you look into the mirror and softly whisper, "Hello again, woman I used to love." Outfit number 6, all black ensemble with gold accents. The power of subtle seduction. There is something I have always admired about older women living in New York, the way they wear black. You might see them walking into a tiny cafe in Brooklyn or strolling through the Upper West Side, dressed head to toe in black, their silver-streaked hair tied back, no heavy makeup. And yet their presence makes the whole room go still. And that is when I realized black is not a sad color. It is the color of power, confidence, and control. But to wear black beautifully after 55, you need more than just the right fit. You need to know how to create contrast. One evening, I wore an all-black outfit to a casual gathering with old friends. It was a long-sleeve silk blouse with a simple V-neck paired with tailored black slacks and low black heels. I wore no red lipstick, no eye makeup, just a pair of gold earrings and a matching bracelet. And do you know what happened? A male friend divorced for many years walked over and softly said, "You in black tonight remind me of the first time we met. But now you seem even more poised and somehow even more magnetic." I looked at him and smiled. Not because of the compliment, but because I understood black did not make me stand out because it was loud. It made me stand out because it spoke about who I am on the inside, composed, grounded, and not trying to impress anyone. Men, especially those who have lived a bit, often notice women in black. Not because black screams for attention, but because it speaks to depth. It evokes seriousness, mystery, even a little distance. And that, strangely enough, is exactly what draws them in. Still wearing all black can look harsh or draining if not done right. That is why adding contrast is essential. For me, gold jewelry is always my go-to, warm gold. Not too shiny, not too big. A pair of hoops, a simple ring, or a delicate necklace, that is all you need. Gold with black creates a completely different kind of energy. Not icy or distant, but more like, I know exactly who I am, and I do not need anyone's permission to shine. If you're not a fan of gold, try amber bronze or copper tones, warm metallics that brighten your skin, especially under soft yellow lights. Another important point, do not let the black outfit swallow you. Choose fabrics with a slight sheen like matte, satin, soft silk, or smooth cotton to catch the light as you move. Avoid high necklines or wearing too many layers that make you feel sealed in. Let a little skin show at the neckline, the wrist, or the ankle. Just enough to say, I still feel. I still know what softness is. Once I wore that exact same black outfit to lunch with my daughter. She looked at me surprised and said, Mom, you look like a CEO today." I laughed and replied, "Yes, honey. I am running the most important operation of my life, my own life. You see, women do not wear black to look younger. We wear black to remind ourselves that we still have power. And when you know that your power comes from within, men will notice not with curiosity, but with respect and the quiet desire to come closer. Outfit number 7, pastel A-line dress with puff sleeves. Sweetness that softens hardened hearts. There are days when you want to feel strong, powerful, and polished. But then there are days when you just want to be gentle. Not because you need protection, not because you feel weak, but because you want to feel lighter, to breathe a little deeper, and to have someone look at you and think, she seems so warm, so approachable. And there's no outfit that conveys that feeling better than a pastel A-line dress with puff sleeves. I remember one spring afternoon at the local weekend farmers market. The sun was soft, the breeze was light, and I wore a pale lavender dress. It had soft puff sleeves, a modest round neckline, a high waistline, and a skirt that flared gently to mid-calf. I wore no jewelry, just carried a small straw bag, had my hair in a loose bun, and slipped on a pair of ballet flats. And that day, at least 3 men of 3 different ages smiled at me as we passed each other. No one said anything inappropriate. No one flirted. They just smiled as if my presence had made the air feel calmer. And I believe that is the power of sweetness. Pastel colors like blush pink, mint green, soft butter, yellow, or lavender carry a kind of energy that says, come closer. They are not loud like bold colors, and they are not distant like dark tones. They simply feel easy, soothing. When a woman over the age of 55 wears pastels, people do not see her age. They see the glow of someone full of quiet, positive energy. As for the A-line dress, it needs no introduction. It is the most universally flattering silhouette. It gently hides the hips and stomach while giving the illusion of a waist, even if yours is not as defined anymore. Puff sleeves are not just decorative. They soften the shoulders and upper arms, which often become a concern after 50. Every element is designed not to reveal, but to enhance. One of my closest friends wore a blush pink puff sleeve dress to a college alumni reunion. She is 63, a widow, and has lived alone for many years. That day, after the event, a man asked for her phone number. They talked for over a year, and now they live together in Florida. I once asked her, "What do you think attracted him?" She laughed and said, "You are not going to believe this. He said it was because of the pink dress." And I believe it. Some men have spent years buried in work and worry and loneliness. Their hearts harden without them even noticing. And then one day they see a woman smiling in a soft dress under the afternoon sun, and something inside them melts. Not because she looks young, but because she looks gentle. If it has been a while since you wore something light in color, or if you are afraid it will feel too youthful, take another look. You do not need to wear candy pink like a teenage girl. Choose pastels with a hint of gray or earthy undertones. More grounded, more mature. And as for the dress itself, avoid overly frilly designs, big bows, or heavy ruffles. Instead, go for soft puff sleeves, a gently raised waistline, and fabrics like smooth cotton linen silk blends or lightweight woven materials so your body moves freely and naturally. And let yourself be soft. Women do not always have to be strong. There are days when you can wear a pastel dress and allow yourself to be seen with kindness in someone's eyes, because you deserve that kind of gaze. Outfit number 8, the navy blazer, poised, intelligent, and grounded. There is a moment I will never forget. I was walking into a community seminar at the local library. That day, I was not wearing a dress, nothing soft or flowing. I wore cream trousers, a fitted white top, and over it a navy blue blazer, the kind of jacket I used to think was only for lawyers or executives. But as I entered the room, I heard a quiet voice behind me. "She looks like someone worth listening to." I did not turn around. I just smiled, because I understood that is what a blazer does. A blazer is not just a jacket, it is a statement. It says I know who I am. I came here prepared, centered, and I do not need anyone to define me. And navy blue, not as harsh as black, not as somber as gray, is the color of wisdom, calm, and credibility. After the age of 55, we no longer seek validation through glances. We seek it through presence and trust. And a navy blazer is the key to that door. I do not wear a blazer to look powerful. I wear it because it makes me stand taller, speak more slowly, and feel accountable for every word I say. When I wear it, I do not feel old. I feel clear about my thoughts, clear about my choices, and clear about my worth. And notice that, especially the ones who have lived, who have loved, and who have lost. They are no longer drawn to what is merely pretty. They are drawn to women who are grounded, directed, and confident. And nothing reflects that better than an elegant outfit topped with a blazer. If you choose a navy blazer, go for one that ends at the hip, or slightly below it elongates the torso and gives a slimmer, taller appearance. Look for a slightly straight cut, not too fitted with firm seams that hold structure. Whether it has a single or double row of buttons, keep it clean and simple. The fabric should hold its shape, but remain soft, lightweight. Wheat wool, soft tweed, or gabardine are all excellent options. Underneath, you can wear a plain white crew neck top, like I did for a bright contrast, or a soft beige silk blouse to add a touch of femininity. Pair it with tailored trousers or a pencil skirt depending on the occasion. And do not forget a leather-strapped watch or a small band ring to finish the look that quietly says, I have plans. I have a point of view. I do not ask permission to be myself. A man once told me, women who wear a blazer properly make me feel like I need to be more thoughtful when I speak with them. And I think that is the sign of a higher level of attraction. Not about flirting, but about intellectual connection. When you wear a blazer, you wear your experience. You do not need to explain. You do not need too many accessories. You just walk in and the entire room knows this is a woman who will not be forgotten. And just like that, you and I have walked through 8 different outfits. Not to follow a trend, but to reconnect with ourselves. Each one was not just about looking better. It was about remembering that you are still captivating, still worthy of being seen, respected, and loved in the way you deserve. You have just joined me in discovering 8 ways to show up again after 55. None of these looks were flashy. None asked you to become someone you are not. In fact, each outfit was a gentle reminder you are still here. You are still a woman with presence, personality, and power in your own unique way. Sometimes we do not need to look young to be attractive. We simply need to return to the calm, grounded, wise version of ourselves and wear things that reflect that gently and intentionally. You can wear a wine red dress and let your confidence do the talking. You can wear a white silk shirt and quietly command respect through elegance. You can wear a floral or pastel dress and melt someone's heart in a world that often feels too rushed. Or you can walk in wearing a navy blazer and everyone in the room will know exactly why you're there. They are all you. There is no wrong choice, only the one that makes you feel more beautiful, more grounded, more open, and more real. And maybe you have not noticed, but men, no matter their age, are still drawn to a woman who knows how to cherish herself. They may not always say it, but they always see. And they feel it when you show up with confidence and softness in your eyes. So next time you choose something to wear, do not ask, what will they think? Ask, how does this make me feel? If it makes you feel beautiful, light, and confident, then you have chosen the right outfit. And now I want to ask you, among these 8 outfits, which one felt the most like you? Have you ever worn something and unexpectedly been noticed in a way that surprised you? Or is there a style you have not dared to try until now? Share with me in the comments. I would truly love to hear your story, because every woman has that one destined dress waiting to be worn. And sometimes, one single dress can help you rediscover the part of yourself you thought was lost. If this video inspired you, do not hesitate to hit like, so I know you stayed with me till the end, and follow me if you want to explore more ways to dress well, live well, and fall in love with yourself again, no matter what age you are in. I will see you in the next video where we will not just talk about fashion, but about the return of the woman you once were, and still can be. So we have just walked through 8 outfits together, not to follow a trend, but to reconnect with who we are. Each one is not just about looking beautiful. It is about remembering that you are still magnetic, still worthy of being seen, admired, respected, and loved in the way you truly desire. These were 8 different looks, 8 ways to show up again after 55. None of them were loud. None of them asked you to change who you are. On the contrary, each one was a gentle reminder. You are still here. You are still a woman with presence, with character, with allure, in your own unique way. Sometimes we do not need to look young again to be attractive. We simply need to return to our gentle, grounded, wise nature and wear what reflects that, gracefully and intentionally. You could wear a burgundy dress and let someone be drawn to your confident gaze. You could wear a crisp white shirt and command quiet respect with your elegance. You could wear soft florals or pastels and melt someone's heart with a surprising tenderness in this rushing world. Or you could put on a blazer and walk into a room like a woman who knows exactly why she is there. All of that is still you. None of it is wrong. It only depends on what makes you feel more beautiful, more grounded, more soft, more real. And maybe you have not noticed, but men, no matter how old, are still drawn to a woman who knows how to value herself. They do not always say it, but they do see it, and they feel it when you show up with both confidence and softness in your eyes. So next time you pick something to wear, do not ask, "What will others think?" Ask, "How does this outfit make me feel?" If you feel beautiful, if you feel light, if you feel grounded and true, then yes, you are wearing the right thing. Now I want to ask you, out of these 8 outfits, which one felt most like you? Have you ever worn something and been surprised by how much attention or kindness you received? Or maybe is there a style you have always been hesitant to try? But deep down, you know it is time. Share your story with me in the comments, because every woman has her own destined dress, the one that helps her remember a part of herself that may have been forgotten. And if this video inspired you, do not hesitate to hit that like button, so I know you stayed with me until the end. And follow me if you want to keep exploring how to dress beautifully, live fully, and fall in love with yourself all over again, no matter your age. See you in the next video, where we will not just talk about fashion, but about the return of the woman you once were and still can be.